What's up guys, welcome back to Fish Over Chicks Woodworking. My name is Peter and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a nice mountain wall art piece. Now if you've been a subscriber of my channel for a while, you know that I end most of my videos by saying if there's anything you'd like to see us make, comment it down below and we will most likely do it. Well, it happened. Les, thank you for your comment. Les commented that he wants to see my take on mountain wall art, so we're doing it. First thing we're going to need to do is cut 7 of these 37-inch long pieces. They are 1/4 inch thick and 1.5 inches wide. I just took these from a 2x6. I think I end up using about 15 in this project, so I say rip about 15 of these thin slats. And the first thing we're going to do is take 7 of them, put them together just like this. Cut them all, sand them all. I did 120 grit, then 180 grit. The first step we're going to do is put them all together just like that, and this is going to be the background where your mountains will lie on. So I'm going to grab these clamps and I am going to flip this over because this is the sanded side and we want the sanded side to be down because we're going to be gluing the slats to the unsanded side. So we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of your scrap pieces and you're just going to line this up almost to the edge, not quite there on both sides, and then put a little line underneath there. Now you get a line to show you how thick this is and how much of this to cut. I made 3 of those and you're just going to space them out evenly, just like that. Then grab your glue and glue them on. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is going to be the back so you're not going to see it. And now we're going to let this sit here for about, I'd say an hour at least. Later, if when you're all done, if you want there to be more support on the back, you can, of course, go ahead and put more of these slats in there. But this should be more than enough for now. So now when you're waiting for this to dry, you can go ahead and start cutting the pieces that are going to be for your mountain. So what I did is I used my miter saw and I cut those slats at 31.6 degrees. It is one of your presets on your miter saw, so it's very easy to do them all the exact same diagonal cut. And you're just going to make a bunch of those of different sizes, just like this, and then you're going to lay them down there, and you want to line up the ends just like that. Obviously, yours is going to end up looking different than mine in the end. As you can see, it's starting to look like a mountain there. You've got the up here and the down on the other side. And this bottom part, you don't have to worry about this bottom part being staggered like that because once we get this all glued on and everything, we're going to end up cutting that off and it's going to be a nice flat line. So go ahead and cut these. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I'd say do, a few the same sizes, do a few bigger, smaller, stuff like that. So you can see it's, it's starting to look like a mountain. I'd say, you want to do the biggest, probably a foot from tip to tip, a foot long, and then the smallest, don't go any smaller than like 3-4 inches, just because you're always going to want some overhang on the bottom. Can't really do anything else after you cut these until this dries, so we're going to let this dry and we're going to come back to it in an hour and we're going to assemble the mountains. Alright, it is the next day. I ended up letting this sit overnight and then I started organizing the pieces on it. So like I said, you're going to want a bunch of these little pieces, some big, some little. Basically what you're going to do is once you've got this piece all glued together, then you're going to take these and just start laying your pieces down on it. Really whatever you want to do. I mean, you can do some bigger mountains, some smaller ones. Obviously the longer the piece is, the bigger it's going to be. So this is like my longest piece. I think it's about 11 inches, maybe 12. And basically what you're going to do is, I'd say line up maybe 3 or 4 of these. So like, so you do something like this, and then you just keep this diagonal going all the way up like that. And then once you have one mountain, then you take your smaller pieces, and then you go halfway down, and then start a new mountain just like that. And then the smaller ones, you can do 2 pieces or 1 piece, and that's just gonna, give it some variety. So go ahead and make the mountains as big or as small as you want, and as many of them as you want. One thing that you should be thinking about while you do this is this bottom piece here, this edge that goes along here. You're going to want every single one of these pieces to overlap, go over this, and cover that bottom edge just for now. So then when we cut all the excess off, we're going to be cutting on this bottom line. So we're going to make this all straight. Obviously, these jagged edges right here won't be there. So make sure everything is long enough that it's overhanging just a little bit. Once that's done, we're going to go and start gluing them. So I'm going to finish setting this up the way I want it, and then I am going to start gluing. So as you can see here, I didn't have enough weights, so I used just heavy objects around the shop. All right, and here's what we've got. I think it looks awesome. Now we're going to take off all these jagged edges from the bottom. How we're going to do that is you're going to grab your router and you want to use a flush bit, and you want to set it to the height just so this little wheel is going to be on the side that the side with the slats that are connected, and then you're just going to go ahead and cut off all of the excess. Alright, so my camera ran out of storage as I was filming this, so I'm not exactly sure what that caught. And the router, I had to change batteries 3 times because they were all low, but I mean, I think that came out awesome. Now, all I'm really going to need to do is go over it lightly with some sandpaper just to flatten that bottom out and make it nice and smooth. Then I'm going to sand the actual mountains lightly with a 180 or 220 grit sandpaper, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint it. So what I'm going to do is half the background I'm going to do orange, half I'm going to do yellow, and then I think I'm going to do the mountains black. I think that'll look pretty cool. So I'm going to get the sanding now. I sanded that nicely, and now it is ready for paint. So I'm going to go inside and paint it. Well guys, here it is. It is complete. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I wasn't sure which colors I was going to go with for the mountains, but in the end I decided to go purple and blue, and then of course the orange and yellow sky in the background. And I think it came out looking really good. I'm probably going to hang this up in my room, maybe hang it up in the shop. Thank you to Les for commenting down below that he wanted to see this video. And if anyone else wants to see any other videos, comment down below and we'll make them. But yeah, that is going to do it for today's video. So if you are not already a subscriber, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 100 billion subscribers. So please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.